Hello guys, this is Maxwell from Max Multimedia. In our previous tutorial, we designed this simple maker flyer in Photoshop, and as promised, today we are going to design the same thing in CorelDraw. And now, let's roll.
A great door is open unto you.
Alright, so here in CorelDraw, the first thing we want to do is to click on our new document here, and then we want to name our work to makeup flyer, and then the color mode, I'm going to leave it here at RGB to not be printed, so I'll leave it like that. The units is going to be in inches, and then the size is going to be 5 by 5, the resolution 300, and then I'm going to click on OK. And then now, as you can see, this is our frame, but then there is no background, it doesn't have anything on it. So I'm going to double click my rectangle tool here to have a background or a shape on top of my frame. Now I'm going to let me give it a color so you can see. So this is the color. Now it has a black outline. Okay, so I'm going to remove that black outline. So I'm going to come to this place here, this disable fill here, right click it, then it will remove the outline. Now the next thing I want to do is to change this color to a gradient. So I'll come to interactive fill tool here, click on it, then drag here, hold down your control key so you can have a perfect line. So click here and drag to the top like that. Now that should be fine. Now we want to change the color to the color we used in our previous video in Photoshop. So I'm going to click here on this orange color box here. I'm going to click on it, then it will bring this bar here. So click on this color box again here like this, and then it will bring you here. Then come and click on this particular color viewer here. Now we want to use the same color code we use in Photoshop. So I'm going to use the same color code here. I'm going to clean this, and then the first color code is FD5392, right? So once you entered the color code, just close it, and then you see the color will change. And then we'll do the same thing here. Click here, and then clean this away. And then the second color code is D2B7B5. all right, so once you are done, just close it, and then so this is the color we use in our previous video in Photoshop. Okay, so I'm going to drop that too. Now the next thing I will do is to go and import the images I'll be using. So you can right click an empty space like this, you see import, or you can come to file and then you see imports here. Okay, or the shortcut key is Ctrl I. So I'm just going to click on import here, then it will take you to your Explorer, then you can locate where you save your resources. Okay, so I'm going to import all the resources I'll be using. So hold down Control, and then you can select them one after the other. So you hold down your Control key, then you can select this particular one here. This is the gradient we use in Photoshop. So here we might not, in fact we don't need it here. Okay, and then that is all. So I'm going to import all of this, and alright, now the first thing I'm going to do is to drag this lady here, and then I'm going to open it up like this, then I'm going to leave it here like this. Okay, now the next thing I want to do is to fade the down part so it will blend with the background. Okay, so I'm going to go for my transparency tool here, and then I'm going to click here and drag it down like that. Always remember, black hides, white reveals. Okay, so your black is what will hide or fade the part you want to fade away. Okay, so I'm just going to drop the tool, and then that should be fine. Now the next thing I want to do is to begin to create my my shapes here, my circles here. Okay, but then Photoshop is different from CorelDraw. In CorelDraw, as you can see, you can see that this knot has exceeded the frame. That means the picture is out of frame. So if I save the work, you realize that it will have an extra white space here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to power clip the image inside the background. So right click the image, and then come to power clip inside, and then click on the background, then it will clip the picture inside the background, and that should be fine. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'll go to my ellipse tool here so I can start creating circles for the rest of the picture. So hold down Control so you can have a perfect circle like this, and that should be fine. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to give it a color. So let me just give it this orange color, and then I'm going to remove the black outline. Okay, so just the whole process. Right click the disable fill here, and then it will take away your outline. And then I'm going to come again to my interactive fill tool here. Then I'm going to click here and drag to this side like that, and that should be fine. Now the interactive fill tool, it helps you give your shapes, your whatever you want to give a color to. It helps you give it multiple colors. Okay, that's what the interactive fill, that's what it does. So what I'm going to do is we want to give this one a golden colors. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just double click on the line here, and then once you double click on the line, it will generate another color box for you. So I'm going to do that. Just double click on the line, and then it will generate. Alright, so this is it. Now we want to put in colors, different colors, to form a golden kind of gradient for this particular shape. Okay, so I'm going to click on this first color box here, then it will open this. Click here, and then come to the viewer here, the color viewer here, and then make sure that the range is within yellow. Okay, so that we can pick colors from this side and form our. So just pick any color at all that you think will make you have a kind of golden. So let me start with this one, and then I'll come to the second box here, click on it, then click here, and then make sure that my range is within yellow. Then I'll select another color that is different from the first one. Okay, I think this is okay. Then I'll come here again, click here, then bring my range within this side here, and then select another color. I think this is fine. So this is how I'll be doing the rest. So I'll fast forward this part of the video so the tutorial will not be too long. Okay.
A great door is open unto you.
Do you believe a great door is open?
But there are
many adversaries.
You've got to be strong in the Lord.
Alright, so that should be fine. So after you are done with creating this golden kind of gradient, that should be fine. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a copy of this. Okay, so in CorelDraw you can use the normal shortcut key for copy and paste, which is Ctrl+C to copy, Ctrl+V to paste. So as you can see, it is 1. So if I Ctrl+C on my keyboard, it has copied it. So if I Ctrl+V again on my keyboard, it will paste it. So as you can see, it has become 2. Or the easiest way, or another way to do that, is to just right click the image or the shape, then you drag it like that to another side like this. Then if you leave the mouse, you will see options here, and then the second option here is copy here. So as you can see, if I click on copy here, to create another copy for me. So that is how to make a copy of anything in CorelDraw. Now I want to resize this one. I want to size it down a bit like that, and give it white color. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on top of this one like this. Let me resize it down a bit. So to make it easier, select the white one, then hold down Shift key, and then click on the second one, and then you press C and E on the keyboard, C and E, then it will align it and centralize it perfectly like this for you. Now what I want to do is I want to click the white one, like select the white one, then I'm going to give it a little shadow. So I'm going to go for my shadow tool, and then I'll just click and drag like this to have it like that. Don't forget we did this in Photoshop. So now the next thing I want to do is I'm going to power clip this image here, inside the white background. Okay, so you can right click the picture and then you see power clip inside here. Then you can, if you click on the power clip inside, then it will turn to an arrow. Your cursor will turn to an arrow. Then place it on the white background. Then you click there. Then it will bring the picture inside. Now you can hold alternate key and then you select the picture like that. As you can see, the picture has been selected from within the power clip. Okay, so you can just do this. Just adjust the picture to fit to frame, and then that should be fine. Then you can click elsewhere. All right, so another way of adjusting your picture in the power clip is select the shape that you power clip the picture inside. Once the shape is selected, you see at the top left corner here, you will see some options here. So you have edit. If you click on the edit, it will open the power clip for you like this. Then you can directly just click on the picture and then drag it here. So that is how to also adjust your power clip. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to group this one and then the golden one. So what I'm going to do is I'll just click from the outside and then drag over the two like that, so the two will be selected. Then I'll head over to this place here and then I'll group them. So now the two has become one. So I can just resize it a bit like this and then leave it here. Now I'm going to make a copy of this one. So you know the whole process already. Right click and drag like this, then you copy here. So I'm going to place it here like this. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to remove the picture of the lady inside this one and put another picture inside. So I'm going to regroup it. Okay, so once you select it, you will see this. So just click on this to ungroup it, then click elsewhere to this select the thing, and then you click on the white one again. Then you come to this place. We want to remove the picture of this lady, so come here and then click on this one. This one is extract the content. So if you click on this one, it will remove the lady from the power clip like that. So let me delete this picture and then I'm going to drag this one here, and then sorry about that. All right, so another way to power clip anything in CorelDraw is you can also right click the picture and then drag it to where you want to power clip it. If you leave it, you see this option here, power clip inside. So if you click on it, then it will take the image inside the background for you. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to adjust this. So you can come to this place to adjust the picture to fit to frame. Alright, so now I am done with the power clipping. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click from outside here, then drag over these two so I can group them like this. Then as you group them, now I'm going to make a copy of this one again. So right click and drag, then copy here, then come here, then you can ungroup it so we can remove this one and put another picture. So I'm going to click here to extract the content. I'm going to delete it. Then I'll come and then this picture, because we'll be using this picture again, so I'll just make a copy of it like this, copy here so I can have two. Then I'll drag one here. So I'll just right click and drag it on top of this and then I'll clip inside. Then that is it. So I'm going to hold down my alternate key and then click on the picture. Then I'm going to adjust the picture to fit to frame, and that should be fine. Alright, so you just click elsewhere. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to group the last one. So just click somewhere like that and drag over the two and then you group them. Now I'm going to position these three properly like we did in Photoshop. So let me just enlarge this one a bit like that, and then maybe decrease the next one, and then this one to make it smaller than all like that. Maybe I might have to increase this one a bit. Alright, so I think yeah, this should be fine, right? Alright, so that is it. So I'm just going to group, select all of them, this 1 2 3. Now this is how to select multiple things in CorelDraw. You can hold down, you select the first one, then you can hold down shift key, then you can select the remaining one by one. then if you don't want to highlight everything, for instance, you can highlight all like this. But then if maybe you don't have a space to do that, you can just hold down, select the first one, hold down your shift key, and then select the remaining one after the other. So I'm going to group the three together. So you come to this place, then you group them. Now I'm going to power clip them inside the background, because as you can see, the black knot here has seeded the background. So just right click and then click on power clip inside, and then click on the background, then to put it inside the background. Now the next thing we want to do is to drag this particular makeup tools here, and then I'll resize it like this a bit, and this should be fine. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open my test. So I'll just come to my resources folder here, and then I'm going to open the test like this. So I'm going to first of all go back to CorelDraw, and then let me zoom my page a bit like that. Now I'm going to select my test tool, then I'll click here, and we use Chicago Police, so I'm going to change the font here to Chicago Police. So Chicago Police, and then I'll be changing the size to, let's say 18 there about for the meantime. So I'm going to now go back to my test here, and then copy the first name here, and then you know the whole process. Control C to copy, and then Control V to paste, and that should be fine. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to change, first of all, resize it like this. Let me drop the test tool, then bring it here. You can resize it again, and bring it here. Okay, now I'm going to change the color. Okay, so I'm just going to maybe sample this, or let me come to this eyedropper tool here, then you can sample the background like we did. Okay, you can sample somewhere around here for, then you once you sample, you just click on your text. Okay, so I'm going to give it an outline, white outline. So I'm going to right click white color here to give it a white outline, but then the outline is too small for me, so you can F12 on your keyboard, then it will open this dialog for you. So let me shift it aside, then you can come to this width here, open this one, then you can increase it to whatever size you want. So I'm going to the corners here, I'm going to set it to round, and then I will come to behind field and select the behind field, and then I'll open this one again. Maybe I will give it like maybe 2 point, yeah, 2 point. It should be fine, and then that should be fine. All right, so I'm going to just click on OK. Now in Photoshop we gave it an outer glow. Okay, but in CorelDraw the outer glow take a bit much time, and it to be different from the way we did it in Photoshop, so we'll leave the outer glow like that. We'll not be doing that. Then I'll head over to my test tool again. Sorry, now head over to my test tool again, then click here, and then I'm going to copy the name, this one, special makeup here, Ctrl C, copy, and then I'm coming to paste it here, Ctrl V to paste it. Now I'm going to highlight, change the typeface to Chicago Police again, so Chicago Police here. Then there's a mistake in this spelling, so I have to correct this. Alright, so I'm just going to resize it like that, and then just take your time and resize it like this, and then I'm going to drop this and give it white color, and then I'm going to give the white color shadow. So come to your shadow tool here, and then you can click and drag it here like this. Hold down Control so you can now I'm going to reduce my feathers here to 10 or 9 like that, and then I'm going to bring this one down a bit so it can, you know, look So I'm going to increase this one also a bit, and that should be fine. Let me increase the federance to 10. Right, so that should be fine. Now the next thing I'm going to do, alright, so the next thing I'm going to do is to create a rounded rectangle here for our services. So I'm just going to my rectangle tool here, and then just create a simple rectangle like this here. And then what I'm going to do next is to come to the shape tool here. Then you see these 4 knots. Okay, just click on one, and then you can push it inside like that to have it round this way. Okay, if you want to have a full rounded, you can just drag it till it has become fully rounded. Alright, so you can just now want to give it a color which is white, and then want to remove the outline. So right click the disable fill layer here, and then it will remove the color for you. So just put it somewhere around here. Let me just, alright, so I'm going to head over to my text tool here, and then I'm going to click here. Then I'll go back to my text and then copy our services, and then I'm going to paste it here. Before then, let me change the font to Chicago Police again before I paste. Alright, so then let me also change the size to 12 thereabout. Then Ctrl V to paste. So here we have our services here. Now we are going to change the color. Let me resize it a bit, and this should be fine. Now we are going to change the color to darker pink. Alright, so I'm going to drop the text tool. Now I'm going to change the color to a darker pink. Okay, so let me just go for my eyedropper tool and sample this color here, and then pour it here. Now I want to make this one a bit darker, so I'm coming, double click here, then you just pick any dark portion you want. I think this is okay, and then I'm going to, that should be fine now. Alright, so this is okay. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to create some small rectangles here for the services itself. Okay, so I'll just come to my rectangle tool here, and then create just a little small tiny rectangle here like that, and then give it white color, and then remove the outline, and that should be fine. Then I'm going to drop the tool. Now let me see how it look like. Okay, this is not bad. Let me adjust this like this a bit, and this should be fine. Now the next thing I want to do is to make a copy of it. So I will just hold down my Control key and then right click and drag, so it will not change from the alignment. Okay, so right click and drag with your Control key hold down. Then if you leave, you see copy here. Alright, so now the next thing I want to do is to repeat this process again, the copy and paste process. So Control R on your keyboard, then you see that it repeats. Control R again, then it repeats. Now let me see the spacing between them. Alright, I want to increase the spacing a bit. Okay, so hold down your Control key while you drag them down. Okay, alright, I think this should be fine. Now the next thing I want to do, let me select all, and then hold down Control, then you bring them down a bit. Let me increase it a bit like that, then push it to this side a bit. Alright, so this should be fine. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to begin to write my services. So click on your text tool here, come here. Now we want to change the typeface to Railway. Okay, Railway. Alright, so we are going to use Railway semi-bold. So come here and then find semi-bold. Alright, then let's change the size to 10 or 11 thereabout. 10 will be fine for the meantime, or even 9. Alright, so let's go back to our text and then copy the first service, bridal makeup, and then come to this place, Ctrl V to paste it here, and then want to change, so drop the text tool and change the color to white, then you can properly put it here like that. And then the next thing I want to do is to make a copy of this text. Okay, so select it, hold down control key, then right click and drag to this place. So whilst you leave your mouse, then you see the option, you copy there. All right, so that is it. And then double click it, select all like this. Now come to your text, then copy the second one, and then come here and then Ctrl V to paste it here, and that should be fine. So that should be fine. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring these two images here, use them as the image background, as the background image. Okay, these two, I'll bring them here as the background image like we did in Photoshop. So I'm going to bring this one here first. Now I'm going to fade the four parts of this picture so it can blend properly with the background. So come to your transparency tool here. Now this one, CorelDraw doesn't have brush. Okay, so we are just going to fade it with the transparency tool. So click here, black highs, white reveal. So click and hold Control, and then you place it here, then it will fade it in like that. So if you like, you can take it in like this. Okay, and then come to bitmap here, then bitmap, convert to bitmap, and then you click on OK. So you can, if you don't do it like that, you won't be able to fade out multiple parts. Okay, so you can fade another part like that, then come to bitmap, then OK, and then the same thing here, bitmap, then OK, and then finally here and then bitmap, and then OK. Now the next thing we want to do is to drop the transparency tool. Now I want to enlarge this one a bit. Now I want to reduce the opacity. Okay, we want to reduce the opacity of this image. So come to your transparency tool again, make sure that you bitmap all the fade outs. Okay, so you can be able to reduce. Now we want to reduce it to, in Photoshop we gave it 14 thereabouts, so here you just subtract 14 from 100. Okay, so we'll give it like 86 thereabouts, and that should be fine. 86, and then that should be fine. So now as you can see, it has seeded the background. Okay, so right click it, then you power clip it inside the background like that, and then we are going to do the same thing for this one as well. So I'll fast forward this part of the video. When I'm done with the fading, then we continue. Okay, so that is it, the fading is done. So just straightly after you are done with the fading and you bitmap all of them, you can now take the opacity to 86 like that, and that should be fine. Whether 86 or 85, 86, and then that should be fine. Okay, let me make it 84 and see. Okay, 84. All right, so that should be fine. Now I'm going to drop the transparency to, and then I'm going to increase it like that. All right, so I'm going to right click it and then I'll clip it inside the background. Okay, so that should be fine. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to create another rounded rectangle here for our working hours. So you can just right click this one, the first one, right click it and drag it here. Okay, we don't have to go all over to create another, so just copy it here. And then the next thing you want to do is to come for your text tool here. If you like, you can copy this same text here. You can right click and drag it here as well, then copy it here. Then you can double click it and then select all. Then you come to your text and then copy the working hours, and then you come here and then you paste it here, Ctrl V, then you paste it. Then you can adjust it, you can reduce the size a bit so it can fit to the shape like that, and that should be fine. Now the next thing we want to do is to bring the remainder. Now we will be using this same font here, Rally Wave. So I'm going to make a copy, just right click and drag it here like this, and then copy it here. Now the next thing I want to do is to select all like this, and then come to my text area here, and then copy the working hours and the time, and then come to this place, Ctrl V, then you paste it. Then you can increase the size a bit, you can increase it like that, then you place it here, and that should be fine. Now I'm going to make a copy of this one. Okay, so right click and drag, and then copy. So just bring it down a bit like this, then you can select all of it, then you come back to your text area, then you select your location. Okay, alright, so Ctrl C to copy, then Ctrl V to paste. That is going to be for our location, so I'll just place it here, and then I'm going to make another copy of this location, then I'll drag it to this side like that, then I'll copy it there, and then I'm going to double click, then select all of it, then come and copy my numbers here, Ctrl C to copy, then Ctrl V to paste. Then we are going to change the typeface to Arial. Okay, Arial, I said it the other time that it's a default font that I believe every computer has it. So I'm going to type Arial, then that should be fine. So I'm going to change this one to bold, then I'm going to drop every two, then that should be fine like that. Now the next thing I want to do is to bring location icon and call icon. So I have the call icon here, so let me just resize it. Now we want to make it white. So to make it white, we have to trace the whole thing and then change the color. If you do not trace it, you won't be able to change the color. But then what I'm going to do is I'm going to, first of all, it has some white. All right, let's just go ahead and trace it. Sometimes if it has multiple colors and you are trying to trace it, it can take a very long time, but then I don't think this will take much time. So just come to click on trace bitmap here, and then click on trace, quick trace here, and then you wait. All right, so it has finished tracing, and then as you can see, this is the trace one, and then this is the original one. So we want to delete the original one, then this one we can now give it a color. All right, so that is it. So I'm going to resize it to a smaller size, and then I'm going to place it here. So now we are going to do the same thing for this particular one. Okay, so come here, just trace it. All right, it is done. So now this one has a background. Okay, let me push. Now this, the down one here, is the old one. Now this is how you see the difference. The one that you have traced, if you click and drag, you will see that it will draw a line. Okay, and then the original one, you won't see any line. So that is how you differentiate between the two. So I'm going to delete this one, and then this one has a background. So come to this place, ungroup it, and then you can drag away, you can remove the background like that from it, then delete the background. Now the white one here, if you take off the white one, you see that the down all will be black. Okay, so what you are going to do is, while the white is selected, hold down shift key and then click on the black here, so it will select the white and the black. Now come to this place here, you see from the left side, okay, 1 2 3 is trim. Just click on the trim, then it will trim, it will use the white one here to trim the black one, so the white will create a hole. So if you click elsewhere and then you now click on the white, you can remove the white like that, so it has created a hole. So you can now delete the white. Now what you want to do is to select this. Now this is also a different thing. This has, it has detached the down one. So let me drag, you see it has detached this one. So select the two. So whilst you select this one, hold shift key, then you can select this one, and then you can come to this place, group them, then you can change the color to white, then you can resize it down like that, and then you can bring it here. So Yeah, I think, sorry, not there. It's supposed to be here. Supposed to be here rather. Alright, so that is how to design this same design in CorelDraw as well. So if you are interested in Photoshop and CorelDraw graphic designing, please subscribe to the channel, because a lot more is coming your way on this very channel. Alright, so that is how to design. Now the rest of the things here, you can just delete them, and then that should be fine. So yeah, this is how to design this simple and unique makeup flyer in CorelDraw also. Alright, so God bless you for sticking around to the end of this tutorial. I will see you in our next tutorial. Keep practicing. Sign out.
Tell us more.
A great door is open unto you, but there are many adversaries.